Welcome to Finnish Business Review. I am Ari Aumo. Our guests today are the authors of the first article, Challenges and Success Factors in Pursuing Innovations, a Finnish high-tech startup case study, which FBR published a few days ago. Liisa Majamäki and Murat Akpinar, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Could you both introduce yourself a little bit?
Okay, my name is Liisa Majamäki and I am the Director of Sales and Marketing at Työvuoro Velho, which is a part of a Counter Group. And I did my master's degree in International Business Management here at Jamk, and that is how I developed my interest towards disruptive innovations. I worked on the subject on my thesis and did an article with Murat.
My name is Murat Akpinar. I am the Principal Lecturer in International Business Management at Jamk University of Applied Sciences in Finland. I am the academic coordinator of the International Business Management Master Degree Program, and I am also a member of Jamk Center for Competitiveness. This is a research center at our university, and this is the center which commissioned this research project.
Okay, can you first define disruptive innovations?
Well, to answer that question, I will refer to Clayton and Christensen, who is the father of disruptive innovation, who came up with the concept. Disruptive innovations are opposite to sustaining innovations. Sustaining innovations are all about developing the existing products with minor improvements, but disruptive innovations, instead, they are about doing something new and different, something unlike. And while sustaining innovations are targeted towards the mainstream markets, disruptive innovations, generally, they are cheaper and lower performing at the beginning, and they are targeted towards new markets, either towards non-consumption or low-end markets. And while sustaining innovators and big mainstream competitors are not interested in these disruptive innovations because they are for markets that don't seem big enough for them, that gives the disruptive innovations room to develop and build on the idea, and over time they will get a chance to begin to grow and become the mainstream market innovation.
What are existing theories saying about disruptive innovations?
Well, indeed, Lisa put it very nicely. Clayton Christensen from Harvard Business School, he is like the father of the disruptive innovation theory. And his theory is saying that mainly large incumbent firms in industries are not likely to pursue disruptive innovations. That's because, firstly, they are interested in their own existing customers. So they want to kill any other disruptive ideas which do not serve their existing customers. Secondly, disruptive innovations are profitable only in the long term. Firstly, they are targeted towards small niche markets. So they are not very profitable because the market is not so large. So that's also another reason why large firms are not interested to pursue such innovations. And thirdly, because large established companies are not so flexible, small startups are more suitable to survive in the uncertainties surrounding disruptive innovation. So small startups are more likely to come up with disruptive innovations. The theory says that the disruptive innovations will be targeted first towards small niche markets. They are at the beginning technologically less competent compared to the existing products and services in the market. So in time, as technology finds solutions to make them equally competitive in performance, the mainstream market will also start buying those solutions. So as a result, the startup companies will grow and they will take over the large incumbent firms in the industry. So this is kind of an evolution of the disruptive innovations. That's the disruptive innovation theory by Christensen.
And what are the main challenges the high-tech startups face in Finland, and how can they overcome them?
During our research, we found 4 main challenges. The first challenge is the identification of disruptive innovations that have market potential. And to overcome that, it is crucial to know the market you are in, and also to be able to see beyond your own preferences, to be able to critically evaluate whether the product would have demand or is it just something you like yourself. The second challenge was to be able to overcome the length and riskiness of the process. It is crucial to understand the nature of disruptive innovation. It differs from sustaining innovations in a way that the process is always longer and more unpredictable. It is not a linear process, and the outcome cannot be projected in a similar way. To overcome that, it is important to have a clear vision and goals, and the solid faith and realistic expectations. And then the third challenge with disruptive innovations is funding, to find enough funding, especially at the beginning of the process. That is usually where most of the startups will fail because of the lack of funding. And to overcome that, it is crucial to have predicted budgets and calculations about the business for the first few years. And a good tip we found during this research was to hire professional financial consultants to guide and aid at the negotiations for finance. And also in any other areas, not just directly finance, but any areas that might have an impact on achieving enough funding, to hire consultants to aid in any areas. And the fourth challenge is the marketing of disruptive innovations. That is a challenge because it's very different from marketing the sustaining innovations. What is usually needed is to personally test out the product, because customers have not seen those before, and the product should be as easy to use as possible and have as few demands as possible from the customer's side.
Based on your studies, what is your contribution to the existing theories of disruptive innovations?
I think, first of all, we nicely wrap up the key challenges and the success factors to overcome them in the context of Finland. That is a nice contribution to innovation literature. Secondly, I would say one of our key contributions is that Christensen's theory of disruptive innovations is suggesting that the innovations are first targeted towards small niche markets. That's how it should go, as I explained earlier. But in our case study, we found out that indeed our case company targeted the mainstream market from the very early stages of the innovation. Perhaps one reason for this difference may be that Christensen's theory has been developed in the context of B2C markets, while our case company was operating in a B2B market. So we recommend for the future more studies and testing of our findings, which can differentiate better how disruptive innovation theory works out in B2B versus B2C markets.
Finally, what would be your regards to the young entrepreneurs pursuing disruptive innovations?
Well, I think the most important advice is to understand what disruptive innovation is all about, and the nature of it and how it differs from sustaining innovations. Only then can the young entrepreneur find a right approach towards it.
I would add to this by saying that pursuing disruptive innovations is risky and challenging. However, they are the real drivers of growth entrepreneurship. So for the society, they are very valuable. Rewards can be high for the innovators, but only in the long term. So my suggestions would be that the young entrepreneurs should believe in their ideas, be patient, and show perseverance to make their innovations come true.
Okay, thank you for our guest. And the article is available in the www.fbr.fi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.